This Wednesday evening, we'll be studying the Panchama Veda, the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. Let us begin with this mantra. Tava kathamritam tapta jivanam kabibhirilitam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam sri madatatam bhubi grinanti e bhurida janaha. We will be reading from the chapter 48. We can say the page number, English page 907. It was the Thursday, October 29, 1885. It was about 10 o'clock in the morning when Master Mahashay arrived at Dr. Sharkar's house in Shakhari Tola, Kolkata, to report to Sri Ramakrishna's condition. Aim and Dr. Sharkar became engaged in conversation. Dr. Sharkar, you see, Dr. Bihari Bhaduri always harp on the same thing. He says that Goeth's spirit came out of his body and then the Goeth himself saw it. It must have been very amazing. Now we know that there's a great transition was the spirituality and science. A group of people, they were trying to hold both, and those who were educated, modern education, educated, and influenced by the European thoughts, they were thinking, what is this all, the spirituality, religion? So any educated people, the moment they are coming to the meeting in place, immediately they will be discussing about this. This Goethe, actually, he was John Wolfgang von Goethe. This John Wolfgang von Goethe, he was born in 1749 and he passed away 1832. He was a German writer and he inspired many of the 18th century people, and literally political and philosophical thoughts that was very much influenced at that time. People like Shakespeare, Immanuel Kant, they were influenced by this Goethe. So of course, naturally, obviously, we can see that these people, they were also influenced. They knew all this. So they used to study and they used to observe and they used to discuss. But in India, traditionally, this type of spiritual thing and the power that grew after practicing yoga, now we cannot doubt it, we cannot say completely it is nothing, at the same time difficult to believe. That was the condition. So when we study this, we can understand how difficult it was for Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna to re-establish the dharma, the righteousness. Because forget about the way of saying or our tradition that the yuga, that is the Kali Yuga, forget about that. But the trend was not believing other things, except those which we can touch, we can taste, we can see, we can smell, and we can feel. So that was science. Science was constantly going on telling these are the 5 things through which we can understand, and beyond, no, we are not going to accept. The so-called educated, I am using the word so-called, as because they were not having the realization of the spirit or the religion as such. So they spread it. The educated people don't believe in God. And much afterwards, in the 19th century, 20th century, we have seen how another movement came and they started telling this religion actually damaging the interest of the commoners. The common people are suffering because of the religion. It has some causes, of course, it is there. In the medieval age, whole of Europe, the Christianity, the way they were torturing people, and some of the other religion like Buddhism also, they were having lot of wealth in the religious organizations, but the people were suffering. And misunderstanding about the religion almost crashed the whole faith on religion. It was that situation when Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna came. So when we read the Bhagavad Gita, Yada yada hi dharmasya glani bhavati bharata, we have no other way but to believe it. Why? Because we see that these people that they are talking about in 1832, 1834, like this, and the Lord God Himself is taking the human form and becoming famous as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and that was 1836. That was the time. He is coming, and then in oblivion, he is practicing. He is growing up in the village where there is no, the influence of the cities were not there. So the ego, the rich people, educated people, powerful people, they were having tremendous ego. He was completely away from that. In a pristine, very wonderful situation, he is growing up. And growing up under the care of the parents who were so truthful. They will never ever say even a single truth. His father, Shudiram Chattopadhyay, those who are interested, you can read the biography. And this is the situation. And we find that God is coming over there. He is not taking any education. Because the modern education, they used to think that unless and until you are having a certificate from an educational institution, you are not a civilized person. So obviously, knowingly everything, he as if boycotted. He never touched that. He went to some traditional school, and that also when he was a kid, that much. But he taught the even learned people like Krishap Chandra Sen, Swami Vivekananda, and many others afterwards. Now even in this 21st century, people wonder reading his words in the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So this is Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and about him only these two persons, one doctor, another a teacher, they are discussing. The teacher, Master Mahasaya, he loved Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna and accept him as the manifestation of God. He accepted him as his guru. But the Dr. Sharkar, no, he was not. So they were having the discussion. And this Dr. Bihari Bhaduri, he was also a famous doctor in those days. And he also, so far I know, he was a allopathic doctor, but maybe that he was practicing homeopathy also. Our Dr. Sharkar also the same, because they used to believe the homeopathy can cure from the root. Anyway, that's a different thing. So both of them, whenever met, they talked about that Goet who said that spirit comes out and he saw, etc., etc. As Sri Ramakrishna says, now it is amazing. Obviously, that someone sees his own spirit coming out and standing before him. So naturally it is amazing. And Master Mahasaya, now he is telling, as Sri Ramakrishna says, look at it, the difference. The Dr. Sharkar, he is coming and getting slowly and connected with the spirituality, but at the same time he is having doubts, he is having his questions, and all these are there. But Master Mahasaya by that time developed the faith and developed the conviction, And he is quoting Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna in this situation. He's saying, as Sri Ramakrishna says, what shall we gain from the discussion? We have been born in this world in order to cultivate devotion to the lotus feet of God. From this line, we can understand what was his thought. Master Mahasaya, don't waste time. And no question of disbelieving the existence of God. Dr. Sharkar, he is telling, is it possible that somebody's spirit coming out of his own body and he is observing it? And but Master Mahasaya, he said, forget about all those. What is necessary? But we have to develop the devotion. This is called bhakti. This is called bhakta or the devotee. And he is mentioning about it, devotion to the feet of God. He tells us the story of a man who entered an orchard to eat mangoes. But instead of eating the fruit, he took out a pencil and paper and began to jot down the number of the trees, branches, leaves in the orchard. A servant saw him and asked, "What are you doing? Why have you come here?" The man said, "I have come here to eat mangoes. I am now counting the trees, the branches, the leaves in the orchard." Thereupon the servant replied, "If you have come here to eat mangoes, then enjoy them. What will you gain by counting the trees, branches, and leaves?" So this is a very clear message that we go on arguing and there is no end to it. So why this and why that? Why this is happening, why that is not happening? So constantly, in every yugas, every time there will be people who will be criticizing the creation of God by saying, why this group of people are suffering? But they can't see the effect. When we go and see that in the jail, the judge, he has given the death sentence of a person, and the person is crying, his family, they are also crying. And that is a very pathetic scene. We go and see that, oh my God, what a heartless man sitting over there in the chair, and then he is writing that go and hang this. But when you read the case, how he tortured a very young lady and then killed her, and that is the reason he has been sentenced to death, we don't know that. So we see the last part, and we are emotional, we cry, oh, why it is, why the judge is behaving like that. Had I been over there, I would have helped this man. Now, as because we do not know karma phala, we see only this life, but we don't know what they have done in the past life, why they are suffering, why they are having all this trouble. Other people are not. Just because of the social and political situation? No. Why those souls are there in this condition? Past karma phala. That is, the Hindus are very clear about it. And that is, anyway, this is, he says, the doctor, I see that the Paramahamsa has been able to extract the essence. Look at it. Now, he is thinking, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna's story, if you have come to the mango orchard, eat mango. The purpose is to enjoy. Now, it means the human birth is precious. The human is having a brain which can really understand what is good and what is bad, what is temporary, what is permanent, and it can judge. So obviously, since we have got this opportunity, and now, by luck, we have come to know a philosophy which is helping us to understand it clearly, that is Vedanta, so that I am that supreme being. I am encased in this body and mind case. I have to bring out my liberty. I have to become the free from this bondage and all that. So when we have come to know that, and then finally, human birth, understanding the bondage, a cause of suffering, and finally, I have a desire to get liberation, and there is a person who can guide me. Manushvatva, mumukshutva, Mahapurusha Samastraya. This Mahapurusha, the personality who has already realized it, he knows the path, and he is giving us, showing us the path, ushering us to that liberty, even if we are not interested in it. That is a bad luck for us. Because it will again go back to the same circle, take birth, and then grow up, then suffer, then experience, then die again. It will go and go on. So Dr. Sharkar, when he heard it, he commented he understood the essence. But the Master Mahasaya, he knows the Sri Ramakrishna is that which is making everything, the manifesting, sustaining, and dissolving. He is that Parama Purusha. He is that Supreme Soul. He is that Brahma. Brahma Rupa Adi Madhya Shesha Sarva Bhasakam. One of the direct disciples of Swami Vivekananda, he composed a beautiful stotra on Sri Ramakrishna. In the beginning it is Brahman. Brahma Rupa Adi. Adi means in the beginning. Madhya, when it is leaving. Sustaining. And Anta also at the end. This is Sri Ramakrishna. But in a human form, very ordinary, a little stammering, and speaks in a very village dialect. So obviously, the so-called educated people and society people and living in a city like Calcutta, so they were not accepting it that way. So doubts were there, but appreciating, okay, this man has understood the truth. So we can understand two different characters. Dr. Sharkar appreciating but not accepting. Master Mahasaya not only appreciating, accepting. Then Dr. Sharkar said him many stories about his homeopathic hospital. The Master Mahasaya wanted to tell about Sri Ramakrishna, but Dr. Sharkar, it always happened. Some people, they always like to tell about their experiences. And a group of people came to meet me, and they told that we went to Andaman, we heard about you, and you have started that ashrama over there, you are the founder secretary. I told yes. Then I thought I should tell the story. So I wanted to tell them how you started. It was a. Then he said, "Oh, you do not know. By the side of it is so beautiful that the hotels are there, and then you can go and surfing. This, that." They started telling their experiences. So they were not interested to they hear from me how it started. That much. So I understood that I have to listen to them, but they are not here to listen to me. So it is okay. Master Mahasaya understood it. Now the doctor will say what is happening to the homeopathic hospital, this, that. Aim and Dr. Sharkar got into the doctor's carriage. The doctor visited many patients. He entered a house of the Tagore family at Pathuria Ghata. Pathuria Ghata is a place in Calcutta. And you can understand that Tagore means is the family of the Rabindranath Tagore, the famous poet. And Dr. Sharkar went to that family. They were very famous in those days because they were having a lot of money. And naturally, if you are going to a rich man's house, They were having two ships, huge ships, that is to carry different things from Calcutta port to London. And then from London they used to bring sometimes the ice, because the Europeans, they like the ice. So in those days they used to bring from London to Calcutta. They come through the Madras and all that. So they were so rich people. So he went over there. And naturally, when you enter into a rich man's house, you can enter, but when you will come out, that depends on their opinion, that the head of the family, hey, sit over here, now give him some food, this, that. You have to. But we can understand the Master Mahashaya, he was there inside the carriage, maybe waiting for the doctor, and not entered into that family, their house. After that, doctor came back and was detained there by the head of the family. Returning to the carriage, he began to talk to him. Doctor, I was talking to that gentleman about the Paramahamsa. Now, he didn't mention who this gentleman was, whoever may be. We also talked about the Theosophy and Colonel Olcott. The Paramahamsa is angry with the gentleman. Do you know why? Because he says he knows everything. Now, the Master Mahashaya, he knew, of course. That's why perhaps he didn't enter. And here we find the Colonel Henry Still Olcott. This Colonel Henry Still Olcott, he was born in the United States here in 1832. And 1907, he passed away. He was the co-founder of the Theosophical Society and helped to promote Buddhism in Sri Lanka. Madame Blavatsky, who was a Russian, she and the Colonel Olcott, they started this society, Theosophical Society. Those who know at that time in the 18th century, there were different type of society grew up. That is Brahma Samaj, then the Theosophical Society and Prarthana Samaj, all this. So actually a confusion was going on. It was basing on the Hinduism, but the Hinduism, those who were practicing Hinduism, they were not able enough to answer the questions that was raised by some of the missionaries over there. How come the God who is all pervading can enter into an image? Hindus, they worship the images. How it is possible? They could not give the answer. And then when the God is entering into an image, why so many images? So many varieties, hundreds of so many images. So how can you accept which is real God? Hindus were confused. The Hindus, they could not reply properly. So obviously, slowly, they were closing their doors and windows. No, we are not going to talk to you people. And that is the sign of weakness. The moment you are closing your door, it is a sign of weakness. In one place, Swami Vivekananda, much afterwards, he said, the Hindus became weak when we discovered the word jabana. Jabana is a word that they use for those who are not Hindus and those who are coming from outside of India. So jabana. So don't accept them, don't talk to them like that. The moment you become afraid of your own faith, and you know that I won't be able to fight with them, I won't be able to convince them, and maybe that my children, my followers, they will get convinced and then they may go to that side, you stop this everything, all communication. So when these forceful people came, philosophically they were nowhere, but they were strong and politically and other things. So Hindus, they were closing their door and they started telling jabana, don't talk to the Javana, etc. So Swamiji said, no, why not? Always keep it open. Sometimes some good thoughts will come, and by learning that, you will be strong. So obviously, so this is the way, but anyway, this I'm a doctor and aim. Now the aim, no, why should the master be angry? He said, this gentleman, he said that I know. That Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was angry. It is not. See, the Master Mahasaya immediately protested when the doctor said, Dr. Sarkar, and look at the patience of the Master Mahasaya. He is waiting because they cannot pay the fees to the doctor. The devotees were poor, but Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was getting the attention of the doctor and his treatment. They wanted that famous doctor should come. At the same time, they knew they won't be able to pay his fees. So, do you notice the patience? He is going to different people and then he is taking his own time. Master Mahasaya is constantly waiting, so that ultimately he will take him to Sri Ramakrishna. This is the sign of a devotee. The devotee is never, but at the same time, when those people are saying something against Sri Ramakrishna is angry with this man when he says, it's not a good certificate. Why he should be angry? So that is why he said, why? Why should the master be angry? I heard that they once met each other. Paramahamsa Dev was talking about God, and the gentleman said, oh yes, I know all that. Doctor, he has donated 32,500 rupees to the Science Association. That's why Dr. Sarkar is so happy. So he is, because he got the Science Association, means Dr. Sarkar was there, and as because the gentleman donated. This is also the sign of the householders, because they love money. They think with the money we can do everything. But the spiritual people, they will never think about it. They sometimes need money, but at the same time they know if it is not coming, it is okay. If it is coming, it is okay. And they will be depending on God. So I was reading one article written by one of our Swami in the Vedanta Keshari. You know that every month we publish the Vedanta Keshari from Madras Mott. It's a long tradition, right from Swami Vivekananda. So there one young Swami has mentioned how it was difficult for the Ramakrishna Mott Madras to run even the daily the routine, because so many monks and brahmacharis, devotees, there was no money at all. Then when the Swami in charge over there, he was thinking what I am going to do. Then suddenly one person came and told, here one lady, and she has given all her property to the Ramakrishna Mott. They never knew about it. Then somehow they went to the court and got that property and then sold that property, and sufficient money came to support them. So this is the sudden way it comes. Not that the lady was known, not that they influenced the lady automatically. It is the God's grace. We have to depend like that. And here, Dr. Sarkar says, he has donated 32,500 rupee to the Science Association. Master Mahasaya didn't comment on that. They drove on talking about Sri Ramakrishna's illness and the care that should be taken of him. Doctor, do you intend to send him back to Dakshineshwar? Master Mahasaya, no sir. That would greatly inconvenience the devotees. They can always visit him if he is in Calcutta. Now the Calcutta is an old spelling. Now it has become Kolkata, K-O. Previously, with the British pronunciation, Calcutta. The doctor, but it is very expensive here. Master Mahasaya, the devotees don't mind that. All they want is to be able to serve him. As Righersdale explains, it must be born where he lives in Calcutta or at Dakshineshwar. But if he goes back to Dakshineshwar, the devotees won't always be able to visit him, and that will cause them great worry. Dr. Sharkar and Aim arrived at Shampukur and found the master sitting with the devotees in his room. Dr. Bhaduri also was there. You remember that Dr. Sharkar was mentioning about the Bhaduri? He was also a very famous doctor. He also came. Now, what we see, the then high society people, educated people, they are coming in touch with the Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. And Sri Ramakrishna also used to go to those people who are influential. Why? Because if they understand the philosophy of Sri Ramakrishna, which is love and unselfishness, which is all encompassing, then that will percolate to the down to the ordinary people also, to the grassroots. That is the main reason. You cannot go and convert all people in that way. Sometimes, because of the influence of the politics and the kings, like the Christianity, like other religion, even Buddhism even, at the time of Ashoka, it spreaded like wildfire, converting people in thousands. But those people never could understand what is the philosophy of this. When I was in Arunachal, I also noticed, and one group of people, they used to come and they used to convert the whole villagers overnight, like that. Now these people, they do not know actually what is going to happen to their, who is God and what actually they are going to do. So slowly they are marked as the group of this, but they practice that religion in their own way. And the pristine purity of that religion that came with the founder, that is lost. So obviously we see so many varieties of this and that. In Hinduism, it was not there. Some of the kings, like the Shashank and others, some of them, they tried, but they were not. Hinduism as such was never ever tried to get the help of the kings to spread the message. No, it is all with the monks and the mendicants and the spiritual practitioners and the holy people. And that is why till now, this is the oldest religion of the world, still retaining its originality. And what is the originality of the Hinduism? In embracing each and every path. Why? Because the Creator is one, and Creator has created everything out of himself, of itself, and sustaining in that way. As the Vedanta says, everything is nothing but the same. Purna mada, purna midam, purnat purna mudachyate, purnasya purnamadaya, purnameva avashishyate. That is the message of the Hinduism. Sometimes thing comes, some king takes up the I should protect the Hinduism, then they go, but Hinduism constantly there. If it goes in the hands of this type of people, business community or the kings, the rulers, actual message of the Hinduism will be compromised, obviously, because it is practice. Hinduism, it is not that simply you come, you have to understand it. And when you understand, yes, whatever is there in me, it is there outside. The microcosm and macrocosm are the same. Will you believe when the Hindus they say, and how bold it is, and how wonderful freedom. It says the Jiva is Shiva. The Jiva, the beings, are nothing but God. That is the bold statement. And they always say, you are actually covered by something which is not there, you are imagining. And because you are under the influence of that, you are thinking that you are bound, you are limited, you are weak, you are separated, all that. The jiva, it is covered by the ego. I. Ishvara is covered by the maya, the same. So they give the definition in the Sanskrit. Who is an Ishvara? Ishvara means Maya Upohita Chaitanya. Upohita means covered. Chaitanya is the consciousness. That is the truth. Consciousness is the truth. Consciousness everywhere, in everything. Manifestation of that consciousness, that varies. Otherwise, consciousness is there everywhere. Now, Maya Upohita Chaitanya equal to Ishvara. And what is the jiva, the individual soul? Again, they say, Ahamkara Upohita Chaitanya. Upohita means covered. Covered by what? Ahamkara. What is Ahamkara? Again, that Maya. You cannot define Ahamkara. So, naturally, if you take out these two cover, what remain? Consciousness. I was giving an example. Suppose there is a big container and there are hundreds of rasgullas are there. And there is a small container, there is only one container, rasgulla. Now the small container is also covered with a small piece of cloth, and the big container is also covered by a big cloth. Now the big cloth we may say Maya, and the small cloth we may say Ahamkara. What he is covering? Rasgulla. Now if you take out those two covers, one side Maya, another side Ahamkara, what remains? Rasgulla only. There may be many at this one, but they are same. So that is the reason Swami Vivekananda said, you have to worship the truly God, that is poor, the downtrodden, the illiterate, the oppressed. Jibe prem kore jei jon, shei jon shebiche ishar. It's a wonderful statement, isn't it? The jiva, the individual self, is nothing but God. And when we are serving that, because he doesn't know, but I know, and that way I am fortunate, the God's blessings on me, so that I have realized it, I have understood it. I am serving the living gods and goddesses. I am going to the temple, to the holy places, and the images I am serving, I am considering that also God, and it helps me to concentrate. At the same time, I am coming out of the temple and I see the God over there also in every places. So that is called Vedanta. The Vedanta teaches us that you and this universe are nothing but the same. So why we don't realize that? Ego. So what is all this study of the scripture? To remove that ego. And how to remove? First understand what is ego and then start the process to remove it. That's all. The Master Mahasaya and the doctor, they are discussing about it. And when they came, they saw that doctor is also there and the Dr. Bhaduri. Dr. Sharkar examined the master's pulse and inquired about his condition. The conversation turned to God. Dr. Bhaduri, shall I tell you the truth? All this is unreal, like a dream. Now, in the beginning itself, while Dr. Sharkar was referring Dr. Bhaduri, he mentioned this, that he always believed that there is a spirit, the Atman, and it can come out of this body, and body is not that important, etc. Now, here that Dr. Bhaduri is mentioning, shall I tell you the truth? Because Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna is sick, he is ill. Can a God become ill? Naturally, most of the people they think that the Swamis, they can never become sick. There's some people, their imagination is a very wonderful imagination. They love to say, do you know this Swami? He is living 300 years. 300 years? But anyway, they love to say like that. And Swami also what to do to get some food and say, हाँ ऐसे कुछ हो गया, पता नहीं. But okay, maybe. And what you are going to do with that longevity? Look at the tortoise. Tortoise lives for a long, long period of time. But it is a tortoise from the beginning to the end. Whether he is living for hundreds and hundreds of years doesn't matter. Look at the trees, banyan trees. Hundreds of years they can live. What is there? Longevity doesn't give anything. It is the knowledge. Shankaracharya lived only 32 years. And from the 8 years to 32 years, he gave the huge, huge knowledge. And now the tortoise is living for 300 years and the Shankara 32 years. Whom you are going to accept? Tortoise. So naturally, we have to understand this. It is not the longevity, it is not the, he can fly in the sky. That's okay. That's good that you need not to pay the ticket and all that, but we can purchase a ticket and can fly. What is there? But the main thing is love, main thing is knowledge. So Hinduism, all this is possible the moment you are using the nature, and you can get all this power. You can get every power. I am sitting over here in Chicago, and in my office, I am talking to you. You can see me all over the world. You can hear me from all over the world. Is it not a miracle? 100 years before, it was a miracle. Now it is science. It's nothing. So obviously, this is not important. What is important? LOVE, for everyone. Can we love each and everyone? No. Why? Because there is something I am lacking, I am afraid of. And that is the reason. So Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he has taken that human form, the Lord God, only to teach these in this modern age. And they are talking about the Sri Ramakrishna. You know why? Bhaduri says that, it is a delusion. And why this delusion? If all know to be the delusion, then why do they talk? I cannot believe that God is real and his creation unreal. I cannot believe this sentence, I cannot believe that God is real and his creation is unreal. It's a philosophy, and you know that when they will be explaining it, the Dvaitin, Hindus, they are pure Hindu, but they believe God is separate, we are separate. And God is pure, we are impure. Majority of the religion, particularly Semitic religion, all the three, they believe in this. And among the Hindus, there is a group called dualist, Dvaitavadin. Dvaita means two. The God is separate, I am separate. They say that the world that you see, that is impure. And Vedanta will say, one group of Vedanta, they will say this world is unreal. What is unreal? Temporary. Not that it is not there. Of course it is there. But it is temporary. So obviously you should not take it very seriously. So what we should take as seriously? That thing which is permanent. And what is that permanent? One which is observing the changes. Who is observing the changes? You. I was a little boy, I have grown up, I have become old, I every time. So that you are there present in every changes, observing. Who is that you? Not body, not mind, then what? So unreal in the sense the body is there, but this is not permanent and this is not truth. These are all philosophical things. This is unreal. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, now he is talking. That is a good attitude, because it is Vedanta. This is a good attitude. It is good to look on God as the master and oneself as his servant. As long as a man feels the body to be real, as long as he is conscious of I and you, it is good to keep the relationship of the master and the servant. It is not good to cherish the idea, I am he. So this is another teaching of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna. Though the Vedanta says that you are that, you know that very famous word, they say Mahabhakya in Sanskrit. Bhakya means a word, a sentence, and Maha means a supreme. Why? Because that is the truth. What is that? You are that. Tat Tvam Asi. Asi means you are. Tvam, you. Tat, that. What is that? The Supreme Being. You are that Supreme Being. Now, the moment you say that, an unprepared person, what he will think, oh, is it? I am the God? No problem. Let me go and enjoy, let me go and do this, let me go and do that. Sometimes it came in the medieval age particularly, and Europe and in Asia also. The kings started thinking that they are actually gods. And the priest also, to save themselves and to get the favor from the king, they said, you are directly connected with the God. The God has become king to rule us. This conception ruled for hundreds of years this world, in Europe and Asia. So they used to superimpose themselves to think that we are, and they will be telling that we are the lineage of this, we are the lineage of that. And they used to think whatever we are doing, all is the God's doing. Is a self-hypnotized person. He is killing a person as thinking, oh, I am doing the God's work. He is torturing a person, is thinking God's work. Whatever he is doing, no, nothing wrong with me. And some of the so-called religious leaders also, they started thinking nothing wrong is going to happen to me because I am directly connected with God. So this is the problem. Sometimes some people, they start hearing the God is convincing them, talking to them. Nothing wrong. God can, of course. God is there, God can talk. And you can also talk to God, you can see God. That is of course there. But what is the effect? That you have to see. Do you really feel love for each and everyone? Feel for others? Then you are on the right path. Or otherwise, you are imagining. Oh, I saw the light, I heard this word, I this, I that. Nothing wrong. It may be. But what is the after effect? And that is the reason when in the second chapter itself, in the Bhagavad Gita, at the end, Arjuna is asking this question to Krishna, how I will know a man of realization? They look same. And if he claims, I have realized God, and if he has practiced to close his eyes for a long period of time, all people who might look at them, he is meditating and talking to God for 3 hours. And after coming down, he'll say, yes, I have talked to God. Many people, they take this opportunity to cheat people. How we will understand who is a real person who has realized God? Looking at his character. And there in the second chapter at the end, Bhagavan Sri Krishna said, Prajahati yada kaman. Many of you who have read the Bhagavad Gita, you know. Prajahati yada kaman sarvan partha manogatan. Then he goes on saying, only one sentence is sufficient to understand a true spiritual person. What is it? Prakrishta rupena Jahati, sacrificed, given up. Prajahati, what? Yada kaman, desire. Kaman, desire. Sarvan, all sorts of desires have gone away. There is no desire at all in the mind of that person. Prajahati, yada kaman, sarvan, parthamanogatan. And how he lives? Atmana Atma. See, he lives with his own self. That is a holy person, that is a holy man. Simply claiming on do and dressing up and all this, those people who are actors, they can always do like that. Much better than any holy person, they will act. But how? What is the yardstick to understand? Tyaga, tyaga, tyaga. Is it really a true renouncer? Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, about him, Swami Vivekananda said, Tyagishwara, he Naravara, Deho Pade Anurag. He is the Ishvara, as if he is the Lord of all those who have renounced. Tyagishwara. And Ma Sharadamani Devi said, someone asked, what is the reason of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna coming to this time? He has not killed anyone. He has not. Sri Rama, he killed the Ravana. Krishna, he killed all those. Now, what? Sri Ramakrishna didn't do anything. Not even showed any miracle. Then what was his gift to the world? What speciality? Maybe unifying different faiths? Mother said, no. That was the side effect of his sadhana. He was following different paths to show everyone that all paths are leading to the same goal. And as a side effect, side effect is the unity of diversity. That is truth. But what is his real teaching? Mother said, Tyaga, Tyaga, Tyaga. He gave up everything. And he was not having money. He was not having social position. What he gave up? He gave up ego. That is the main thing. If you can give up ego, even if you are living in the wealth and all, nothing can touch you. That he is giving, and slowly, slowly, these people are also understanding. That is why Master Mahashaya said, those who came to Sri Ramakrishna, they understood it. There was a constant flow of love, and you cannot go beyond love. There's a unique thing that always we find in the life of Sri Ramakrishna. Friends, we will continue this, and slowly we are going to close up this Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. So obviously more discussions of the devotees will come than the comments of Sri Ramakrishna, and we can understand he was having problem with the throat, so he has already stopping to talk, but one or two comments that will come, that will enlighten us. Thank you very much.
So the first question is from Vamadeva. He is asking, I have been reflecting when Thakur asked, do you cry for God when you meditate? When I do my japa and puja, I am not able to cry. What is the advice to help me cry?
This is a very good question. You know that no one can help you to cry. This is automatic. So when you love someone and then you are not getting his company, you can't hear, you can converse. So naturally, if you have true love, that cry will well up within you. You need not to help someone to give you a pinching and then with the pain you are crying. No, it is nothing like that. And don't be disheartened. Just go on taking the name of God sincerely, and slowly, slowly all the dirt that is there on our mind, it will be clean, and then you will find the attraction for God. As they always say, an example, when the child is busy playing with the dolls, the mother never comes to the child and she is okay, now it's busy. The moment the child starts feeling that I'm not getting my mother, then even if the people they say, hey, look at it, this is a beautiful thing, drum, he will throw it, he'll cry, it will roll on the floor. And if other ladies are coming to take the child on their lap, it won't go. And it will cry in such a way, mother will surely come. And that is called, can you cry? Is that. That is the way we have to. Do you really feel that missing of that God? Then the cry will come. Be a child of God. Thank you.
Shamir Kumar Dey is asking, shall one concentrate only on one God while meditating? Like, I have faith in three gods, Sri Ramakrishna, Ma Sharadamani, Goddess Kali, Swamiji. Which God to concentrate?
No, not is that. All gods are actually the manifestation of the same one God. And why so many different forms? People like to see God in that way. Sometimes some people they like to see God as the child, or sometimes they love to see God as their friend or as their master. So God is in that form. Sometimes the Ma Kali, sometimes Durga. And don't worry about that. Whatever you like, that is called Ishta Devata. We discussed about it, I think. The Ishta Devata, this is very, very important. We love our personal God. There is a very good relation with the God. And God is all powerful, everywhere. In any form you think, it will manifest in that form. So that Ishta Devata, it is up to you. If you think Goddess Kali is more, you love to see the Goddess Kali and meditate, you can choose. Sri Ramakrishna, you can choose. Ma Sharadamani, you can choose. But if you constantly change the object of your meditation, then you won't be able to develop the focus, attention. So that will be the difficult. All are the same, but for your own sake, you have to choose one god or goddess and concentrate on that. That is why people that take initiation. Why? That helps. The guru will say, this is your goddess, this is your god. Because the guru has said, let me. Actually, help comes from myself. I develop concentration. The moment I can withdraw the mind from the other objects of this world and can focus on one thing, I become more powerful. And in whatever way I can concentrate, then I can see the tranquility of the mind, which is nothing but my own self. That is the thing.
Swarup is asking how to differentiate between a realized devotee and a devotee wanting realization. Can both grow cavalier attitude?
So both may be there, both may be together, but as I was telling, not only devotee, among the monks also, we have come to become monk, sannyasi. We are not born sannyasi. The born sannyasis like Swami Vivekananda, Swami Brahmananda, Swami Turiyananda, they are. But we have come to become a sannyasi. Devotees also. Now, only yardstick is the love. When you can love other devotees, they may be having some defects, they may be having some problem, but you think it's okay because it's a God's house and different type of people are there. There is no problem. Sometimes our senior people, Swamis, they used to say, Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna like different color flower. So in his bouquet, it is not one color, only red color and very costly the roses are there. No, varieties are there. Sometimes some are very wonderful, smell is there, are very good looking, and sometimes not. But all are devotees of Sri Ramakrishna. And you should become humble. I have got the opportunity to come to Sri Ramakrishna. I have got the opportunity to serve Sri Ramakrishna. And other people all around, they are only a company that together we are going. Whether he or she has developed or not, it doesn't matter. It's not your problem. You have to develop love and then make the progress. How? Swami Vivekananda said, I am the servant of the servant of the servant of one who believe Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna as God. So that is the attitude. Thank you. Thank you, friends. So let us conclude with this mantra. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa dhrita vigraham vai Ishavataram parameshamidhyam tam Ramakrishnam shirasa namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.